It's going to be a great day. We are actually going to get to experiment with paint today. It's going to be super fun. And we're going to create painted papers for our regional landscape artwork. First thing I want you to do is always write your first name, last name, and 5A, B, or C on the back of your paper. You're going to turn your paper over, hold it horizontally, and I'd like you to divide your paper into 4 sections. To do that, I'm going to draw 3 lines down my paper, just like that. And we are going to be using tempera paint today. Tempera paint's the paint in the ice cube trays. And what I want you to do is take a good look at your photograph that you're working from. And remember, last time you created this sketch of your photograph. And today I want you to look at the colors and the textures that are on that photograph. Because what you want to try and do is, like this, I see this kind of texture that looks like it's kind of has something pulled through it. So I'm going to play around with that. Now, you can do realistic colors, or you can come up with colors all on your own. What I'm going to do is I'm dipping my paintbrush into the paint because I think it looks a little bit like yellow. I'm going to put some yellow on here. I'm going to dip into another color, so you know I need to quickly wash off my paintbrush. Make sure you have your paper towel handy because you definitely want your paintbrush to be clean and dry before you dip into another color. You are going to, look at this, I'm actually kind of mixing those colors right on my paper. If you go onto the table a little bit, no worries, we'll clean that up at the end. So I am going to completely cover this section. Here comes the fun part. I went over to the supply table and I see that there are paint scrapers and combs and different things that I can use to experiment with on my paper. I chose this paint scraper. What I'm going to do is hold my paper tight and I'm going to pull down through it. Oh, that's awesome. I think this is giving me a similar look to what I was seeing right here in my landscape. At this point, I'm going to go over to the sink. I'm going to wash off my scraper. I can wash off my brush and my water, and I'm going to move on to the next section. This one, I think I'm going to go ahead and look here to this area. That looks a little bit more brown, and it kind of looks like the paint was dabbed on. In each section, you want to play around with some different painting techniques. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the brown, and I'm actually just going to dab, dab, dab. Actually, that looks cool. I'm going to dab, dab, dab. I'm getting some really great texture. Remember, texture is one of the elements of art, and texture is how something feels or how something looks like it feels. And as artists, many times we are making our paper look like it feels a certain way. So if you notice, I'm going to dab, dab, dab this paintbrush all the way down. You might experiment with some different paintbrush sizes, different paint brushes. Ooh, that's cool. I'm going to keep going. I think you're getting the idea. Each section, you are going to paint a different section of your landscape. And what you're going to do is experiment with different ways of painting, with different tools. The supply table is full of different tools that you can use for that. And you're going to fill this up. Now, I have 4 sections on this paper. I don't think 4 sections is going to give me enough for my project. So when I'm finished with this, I'll get another piece of paper and do the same thing. I'm going to mark it off with the 3 lines, so I have 4 sections, and keep painting. Well, I know you're going to have a great time experimenting with your painting techniques. Good luck.